anything without South Africa. Ungrateful. So what we need to do? We need to boycott these countries. Why are South African artists performing in Zimbabwe in the first place? Why? Why are we performing in a country that can't even take care of its own people? We're being used by the government that's abusing its people. You know, we're whitewashing all the atrocities that they're making and saying, hey, even South African artists are willing to come here. We should boycott them, just like they boycotted us during apartheid and said they're not going to get involved in Zimbabwe. We should be boycotting all these Zimbabwean festivals, boycotting all these foreign promoters that are using South African arts, and the fact that we've got an industry that stands on its own 2 feet. You know, you can actually go into a store, you can go into a shopping center and buy a CD. You can't do that in Nigeria. You can't even sell tickets to a show in Nigeria. Asake's biggest show on the African continent was in South Africa. Right? You saw that show?
No.
You didn't see it at the Gold Rush Arena or whatever it's called, the FNB Stadium?
No, I don't remember.
It was a sold-out show.
Yeah.
Packed out. You can't do that in Nigeria.
You can't?
You cannot, because who's going to buy tickets? They're busy in the rice line. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They're busy chasing trucks with rice.
They don't do shows in Nigeria?
Who can buy tickets in Nigeria? They've got an indigent population bigger than our population.
Bro. All right. There was this saying that I heard back in the day, right? He said, don't be arguing with fools, because people from afar don't know who is who, right? You can just tell that all of this is just incompetence and they don't have education.
So first things first is, he mentioned something about foreign promoters.
Yes.
And I'm throwing this question out there to every foreign promoter that has been in the game for a long period of time and that has been in the game till now. Like, how many South African artists do we actually see come into the foreign aspect to come and even perform or anything? And he made mention something about South Africa making Afrobeats popular, or South Africa owning Afrobeats. That's serious talk over there, my brother. Afrobeats was created by nobody else than fella Anikulapo Kuti, who is a Nigerian. Yeah. And that's the man who created that genre.
Yeah.
And when we talk about Amapiano, which is the #1 most popular genre that's come out from South Africa at the moment, because if we look at the history of South African music as a whole itself, the music that has been popular from South Africa is kind of a cultural music, like the Zulu kind of music where we see in Lion King, we see in the Sarafina movies. Those were the kind of styles of music that was very popular from the South African people. And these were not commercial music.
Of course.
These were not music you play in the club. These were not music you see in festivals. Of course. These were not music that anybody wants to listen to in everyday life.
I want to take an example of this, right? Lucky Dube, for example. I'm trying to pull out his first 3 albums, right?
Yeah.
Lucky Dube is a South African artist, South African reggae artist.
Really?
Everybody knows him as a reggae artist.
I didn't even know Lucky Dube is South African.
He actually is.
Now, you see me learning something there.
He's a South African man. And I'm trying to find his first albums. Lucky Dube at first was not a reggae artist. He was what was he? He was making Zulu pop music known as Mbakanga, something like that. I don't know if I'm saying it wrong. I'm sorry to the South Africans. And they started making albums. They made, I think, 3 albums in that Zulu pop music.
I don't think anybody ever heard those first 3 albums.
If you I'm genuinely asking, do not look on Wikipedia, do not look online. Do you know those albums? If you know them, comment them. I'll personally give you £20 because nobody knows that. Nobody knows those albums. The moment he made his first reggae album, that's when he blew up because the government didn't like the music that he was making. But I digress on that, you understand? So the music that these people, they used to cherish that time, it wasn't even commercial. They didn't even support it. You understand? Reggae that was from Jamaica, that Lucky Dube now adapted the Rastafari movement and I said, okay, I want to do this music. That's what sold. And you just see how much of support these people even gave their own artists at the time. He says that their entertainment industry stands on its own 2 legs. Brother, if any South African act wants to come out of South Africa and make it internationally, what's the first country they try and make relationships with and try and make features with? It's Nigeria. From the moment, even Focalistic, when he made Kesta, the first remix, which remix did he do it with? Davido. Trala Bam, a known anthem internationally.
And big shout out to the DJs in
Yeah,
Nigeria
100%,
because
100%.
I would say Amapiano actually became commercial and mainstream in maybe in like 2010 or 2011.
Yeah.
That's when people actually started listening to Amapiano.
Yeah.
And the Amapiano vibe, the movement actually even started with Nigerian DJs.
What nightlife does South Africa have?
Exactly.
What nightlife does South Africa have? Like
and
if you see the DJs, sorry for cutting you
Yeah.
off. If you see the DJs, for example, there have been DJs in Nigeria that have been pushing this Amapiano wave since way back, since 2019, when Amapiano was just building his ranks up in South Africa. We had DJs like 6-7, Consequence.
shout out to
K-Wise.
6-7.
Those
Shout out
are-
to Consequence.
Come on, man.
Shout out to KY.
Absolute legends. They did beats for you guys, and all of them are Nigerians. They involved Amapiano in your nightlife, and that's part of the reason. That's a major reason why Amapiano, as it is all around Africa and all around the globe.
So can we say it's the other way around, that we Nigerians actually made Amapiano popular to what it is today?
100%.
And looking at the fact that we have bigger population than South Africa itself, so even the amount of numbers and the amount of streams that even comes from Nigeria itself, it's a large number. And aside from that, looking at Nigeria's music and entertainment industry as being the biggest in the whole of Africa, as in there's no how you can say that South Africa actually owns Afrobeats or South Africa actually makes Nigerian artists better or makes Nigerian artists bigger. No, it's the other way around. We actually make you guys bigger. We actually make you guys better. We actually make the international market see you guys. Because without us, there is no international market that is actually seeing a whole lot of things that happen in the musical and entertainment industry and entertainment frame in Africa. That's the truth. If we just go a little bit back and look at the first few international collaborations that first came into Africa. If we actually look at them, it was from artists in Nigeria. If we actually look at, I'm talking about commercial music now, music that went viral, that music that everybody knew that, oh, this is an international artist with an African artist. It was actually Nigeria. We had likes of them P-Square, we had likes of the band with Snoop Dogg, we had P-Square with Akon. As in,
it's just, that's why I said it's just looking like we're arguing with fools, because this is just is lack of education. From the beginning, who created Afrobeat was Fela Kuti. Fela Kuti was in the UN. He sit down there with quotes. Fela Day for UN meeting. But they talk to them.
Can you give me one South African musical artist that's been in the UN and chatting to the UN about doing the wrong thing and trying to get them to do the right thing through his music, calling people out, trying to make them do the right thing. So I'm just tired of people trying to, push the blame on everybody. Yeah, there are bad people everywhere. Yes. There might be Nigerians doing some certain things in your country. There might be Zimbabweans doing some certain things in your country. But the right way to go about it is call these certain people out. If you see them in your country, let the Lord do their job. Don't come outside and come and say something which is not factual. We have a whole lot of people on the social media spaces. 100%. We have young people coming up 100%. And they'll start flying with what you're saying South Africa owns Afrobeat. No, 100%. South Africa can never own Afrobeat, and you would never own Afrobeat. 100%. Afrobeat is owned by Nigerian, and it was created by a Nigerian man called Fela Anikulapo Kuti.
And even the Afrobeats, and even the Afrobeats that we know now is a blend of Fela Kuti's Afrobeat and the high life that we once had back in the day as well. From Oliver the Coke, we had artists like Ebenezer Obey from the Yoruba land as well. So all of those mixtures and blend of sounds, they now form what is Afrobeat
currently
today.
Now.
Yes, none of Zulu does not sound like any of the cultural songs that we once had in Nigeria.
Nothing.
Yeah.
So there's absolutely no influence from South Africa when it comes to Afrobeat. Yeah. Like there's zero influence from South Africa when it comes to Afrobeat as a genre of music. When we look at the toms, the beats and everything that makes up Afrobeat itself, there's nothing actually that speaks South African in it. So I'm just kind of shocked that somebody I see as an adult, you're that popular, would come outside to social media and say, South Africa owns Afrobeat, or you go as far as saying, international promoters. How many South African artists are there to do shows with in the international market? How many?
All of the South African arts that are out there, they are all DJs. Which artists have you seen that has come out? Or they are either DJs, producers, or the both. DJ Maforisa, he literally comes to Nigeria every year and tries to do a partnership. It was not
It
him that
does.
did money constant
He has
with
done
Wizkid.
loads of
Come on, man.
collaboration.
Even
You
back in
know.
the day, my Soweto baby with Wizkid.
Yes.
When you hear the
Yes.
banger with Run Town as
Yes.
well.
Spodo, no,
And
no, no.
he mentioned
Yes.
something about apartheid. He mentioned something about apartheid with Zimbabwe. And I didn't want to get into this, but he mentioned this, so I'm going to say a little thing. And this is the last thing that I'll say, right? I said that apartheid countries left them behind. You know, they tried to segregate them. And at that time, the black people were being persecuted in South Africa because of their race, you understand, in that time. And by South Africans generalizing what they are going through in South Africa now by uh, that is trying to put the blame on African people, other African nationalities, you're basically doing what the white people did to you guys back in the day. Because you guys are generalizing all of the other African nationalities and saying that they are the reason why you guys are suffering like that in your own country. Meanwhile, you guys are not putting your efforts in, you're not being educated, you're not opening your own businesses, you guys don't want to work, you guys are lazy. And now you guys are now pushing the blame to us. It's not our fault that we're working. It's not our fault that we can satisfy your women better than you guys can. So come on, man.
Well, I'm just so the purpose of this video basically is just to enlighten everybody and just to let you know that Afrobeat is not owned by South Africa and Afrobeat is owned by Nigeria. It's a genre of music which has a full Grammy recognition in about 2 years ago. I think it's a genre of music which there's a category for it in Grammy right now. And that genre was created by a Nigerian man called Fela Anikulapo Kuti. And that's just it. That's just what it is. And you know, when you want to come outside to the internet to say things, please always be factual and, well, get educated, guys. So we'll just leave that there, yeah? My name is Mr. Delayet, and this is...
DJ Fresh Oman.
Yeah, man. Peace out.